Welcome back to Real Talk, the show where we sit down with real investors doing real deals and talk honestly about what's actually happening in today's market. Today, I'm joined by Niall Donnelly, founder of AZ Shamrock. Niall's originally from Ireland, moved to the US in 2012, spent a few years playing professional soccer in San Francisco and New York, retired at 33, then moved into coaching and construction. And from there, he made a jump into the real estate in 2025. Niall, appreciate you for being here, man. So let's start from the beginning. Obviously, for the guys who do not know, can you give us a small intro about yourself, who you are, and what made you got into real estate?
Yeah, of course, Deon, bro. It's a pleasure being here, bro. I really do appreciate it, man. So, like I said, dude, I'm from Ireland originally. If you hear the accent, a lot of people are like, "Oh yeah, they call me Neil. Don't worry about it. It is Niall. It is Irish. I don't expect you to get it." But yeah, dude, I moved over to the States in 2012. I was playing soccer from a young age back in Ireland. I was played in England for a little bit on the lower divisions, and then I came back to Ireland, and then I moved out to the States in 2012. Moved to New York for 8.5 years. I was doing construction, concrete high-rises, foundation, you name it, a lot. And I left New York with my wife, and we went to San Francisco. So we went to move to San Francisco. I was doing the same thing, doing carpentry work in San Francisco. Got to a stage then, dude, it was like, I was playing soccer as well in San Francisco, and I was enjoying it. It was the only thing that was keeping me going mentally as well with my mental health. So after a while, it was kind of, I didn't want to be in San Francisco no more. So I had to make the move over, the transition over. So it was coming to an end where the soccer was getting older. I was about 33 and a half, about to retire. And I got into coaching, helped out a few people at coaching in San Francisco. Played with SF Celtic. I played with Oakland Stompers. I played with Silicon Valley Rush. I played with a lot of good teams out there. And it was it, dude. Like construction, I was doing it for a while. I was sick of it. I wasn't making enough money. I was going to work, but I didn't want to be there. I could really tell you that. And like I was looking at wholesale real estate, and I watched a video of Eric Klein. He's like, "Yeah, dude, just change paper into cash." And I was like, man, this has got to be too good to be true. So looked it all up, did my homework on it. I was like, you know what? Let's just jump into entrepreneurship. Let's just jump into the deep end, see how it goes. Because my uncle was down. My uncle's a multi-millionaire. He's in Pennsylvania. He owns a pest control business. So I spoke to him. I was like, dude, go for it. He said, if you can master something within a small amount of time, he said, you'll make a lot of money. He said. So I look at that as sales. I knew a guy, Bill Welch, I used to play sport with, grew up at a young age, town across from mine back in Ireland. He created the objection box, him, his brother, Jack and Kevin. And Bill got into one of the top sales places in London. I was watching him, and he made $1 million in 6 months. So I was like, God, okay. So in sales, there's no cap. So I said, let's get into sales. Got into sales anyway. Rang Eric Klein. He was like, dude, I can't talk to him at an event. He said, what I'll do is I'll get me and one of my team jump on a call when I get back from Florida. I think it was the Summit event, the big one down in Florida or something. So I spoke to him, reached out to Tony Mon. Tony Mon sent me a video of like 10 minutes, like, dude, get your ass down, get a seat on the wholesale boot camp, the very first one they ever did in their new office in Scottsdale. So I went there, it was a 3-day boot camp, worked out with him. Broke bread with them, had some food with them, talked to a lot of investors, a lot of guys. They're in the wholesale right now. Big shout out to Noah Clark, Austin Pirtle, Joel Condor, all them guys. Met everyone down there. Brandon Morales, met them all down there. Marvin Ocampo, the list goes on. There's so many savages doing it. Christian Bowman was there. Jacob Scott's there right now. Young savage from Kentucky that wasn't wholesaling. He's after shipping his mindset now to life insurance, and I hope he crushes it. But long story short, went there, met everyone, met Eric, Tony, broke down the whole model from A to Z, how to do wholesale real estate, from basically learn how to lock up deals, learn how to pull data, learn exactly what you need to do after you have a deal locked up, and how to dispo and TC coordination, the whole shebang. Very, very good event. So I spoke to Tony and Eric, and they're like, what are you doing? I was like, dude, I'm about to move to Arizona because my wife's mom and dad were living in their house right now in Glendale, so it was easier. So we moved from San Francisco to Glendale, not knowing what was ahead of us, man, to be honest with you. It was like spur of the moment, left this Arizona, went back to San Francisco, said to the wife, we're moving to AZ, and she was delighted because she needed to get closer to the mom because her mom has health problems. So that worked out great. So I got into it, started on January the 2nd of 2025, the second week of January. It was tough, Deon. I was a man possessed, dude. Like, I was a competitor playing soccer. When I'm a competitor, dude, I love the competition, bro. I want to be better than everybody else, dude. I live for it. I love the adrenaline, the rush, the buzz, everything. It gets me stoked. So I locked in my mindset, and it was tough. I got back into the gym. I was in the gym at 3 in the morning. I was out of the gym at 3 in the morning. I was on looking at sales calls, Jerry Norton, RG Bates, Eric Klein, all of the top wholesalers. And I was just getting on the phones, and I was dialing, dude. I was literally pulling a list from Deal Machine. I didn't even know what CRM was then, dude. I only knew how to pull a list from Deal Machine and just call 10,000 records. So I locked up 10 deals in my first month. I locked up 2 deals in my first 30 days. So I didn't even know what ARV was, nothing. I was locking them up too high, like you would as a beginner, right?
Yeah.
So, man, there must be something to this. So I was losing out on deals with realtors trying to back in me, other investors, like, trying to go around me as well. Seller wants to back out because he has another offer from another investor or realtor, or whatever it may be. So they were backing out of the contract. So I said, okay, if they want to back out of the contract, I got to let them, right? But that wasn't the case. There was different ways of doing it. So I was hitting my 10th contract. So I had a good deal on my hands. I broke down the numbers with Noah Clark, good buddy of mine. And he said, dude, this is a deal. He had a buyer ready to go. He had a buyer ready to go in 4 days. Like 4 days, literally, not kidding you. Good spread now. It was like about a 36K spread now. So I was like, dude, finally. Like, this is going. This is 4 months now, grinding hard 7 days a week. And now I'm starting to find the results, right? Maybe now it's starting to click. So she wanted to back out of the contract because there was a realtor she knew. So the realtor was trying to back end me, go around me. So I said, that's fair enough, but I'm not going to let this happen again, I said. So I filed a memorandum. I gave her an option. I said, here, look, either we get this done for you, the price is good, the timeline is good, we've agreed to everything. What's holding you back? And she was like, I need a property. Well, I said, I look for a property for you too, even though I'm not meant to, but I will go and do it with my team. So we were doing that for her, and she still wanted to back out of the contract. So I said, look, I'm putting a memorandum on your home, affidavit of interest. So we put the memorandum on it. We did give her a chance. She wouldn't respond in 3 or 5 days. So if a seller's in breach in 3 or 5 days, you can actually reach out to them and say, hey, look, you're not cooperating. You are in breach now. We're going to file a memorandum. So I put a memorandum of property. She paid out 10K on the memorandum, dude. Memorandum was my first ever deal in wholesale real estate for $10,000. And a lot of people don't have that story. A lot of people close. My first was a 10K memorandum. So my next deal after that then was another deal with Noah Clark. I made like $8,000 off it.
Yeah.
Then I was kind of, after that then, dude, it was kind of going downhill. I was like, there's something going on with my sales process. I was still stumbling and mumbling on the phones. So I went and I joined another guy in Arizona down Tempe, Armando Padillo. He owns a company down Mesa. So he had an office in Tempe. So I joined with him, started doing deals with him. We closed on 2 or 3 deals, I think it was. So I went back out and I done it my own because he wanted to get into the AI now. So he wanted to get into the AI adventure. And I wasn't really into the AI. I wanted to build a business. I wanted to build my own business. So I left that. Started doing my own deals again. I closed on then another 4 deals. So I did. So my health came against me. So I had to take a little bit of time off because my wife was like, well, you can't keep grinding the way you're grinding now because stress is the biggest factor, right? It's going to kill you. So I went off working with a company called No Brainer Solutions. Park Battier and Kane McNamara owned it. They used to work for, it was Tony and Eric's old team before they left. So they started up a company. I went working with them, closed a few deals with them, did very well with them. I think now from now until when I started with them in 6 months, I've closed them nearly up to between maybe 175 and 200K, to be honest. So I only went back out again on my own there about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And right now I have 7 contracts on the board right now. I have walking properties already. So it was like, brother, I have big respect for a lot of people in this game. Like, so now I'm back in the bedroom again doing it, Deon. I love it, dude. Absolutely love it, man. I've cold callers going right now with Connect Us, US
Mm-hmm.
they're called. They're in Egypt, and they have another AI company called Connect Us, REI AI. So
Mm-hmm.
it's them. Right now, we have 3 contracts locked up with them. Since starting, when 16 days, business days starting with them, we've 3 contracts locked up um, within 63 leads. So things are going very well. These are cold call leads.
Okay, nice.
Right?
No, I think like you gave like a, I know, I think like you gave the full story of like where you came from, and I think that's kind of amazing at the same time, kind of inspiring because you had to go through a lot just to be where you are right now. So I know in the beginning, obviously you moved from Ireland to the US, right, in 2012. So what would you say was the transition like culturally and personally for you?
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. I'll just tell you a little bit of story about me. Where I come from back home in Ireland, it's called Portlaw. It's a small little town, but back where I was from, there was a lot of drugs, and I'm not afraid to say, like a lot of people you talked in this game have a past, right? They have a story. I'm not afraid to share my story. So at a young age, I was smoking weed. I was still playing soccer. Soccer was the way out for me. Always at a young age, I always had mental health issues. Always. I was never happy, man. You know, I always wanted more. If I wasn't making enough money, I always wanted to make more money. So I was never happy. And then kind of I got into with some bad like when you come from a town, you fall
Hmm.
with the wrong people, right?
Yeah.
I love these people, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't something I wanted to be in. My mom and dad were stressing out about me. I was doing stuff that I shouldn't be in, so it was either go to jail, I get in other trouble, or I either go to America. So I
Yeah.
went to America, went out to my uncle, stayed with him for a while, and was in New York for 8.5 years, man. I loved it. Didn't like the winters. It was cold. The summer was it was humidity was so hot. Remember waiting up the summer, man, going to construction job. It was 100, 110 humidity, and I was just sweating. I was having a cold shower. I was coming out of the cold shower, and I was just sweating again. It was like, it was brutal, but it learned me a lot of lessons. It toughened me up as a person. It really did.
Hmm.
Like, you're here now, and that's another thing as well. Whatever choices you make from a young age from now, you have to lie on them, dude. Like the choice
Hmm.
that you make is the outcome of of where you're at right now, right?
Yeah.
So like when people say, you know, that you didn't have to make them choices, well, you do have to make them choices, and if you don't make them choices and you don't learn from mistakes, you don't grow as a person and you don't get better in what you want to do, right?
Hmm.
I have no regrets. Anything I did in life, I have no regrets because I feel like the things I did now do have to make me a better person, a better man, a better business person. And if they didn't happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. Being able to do this job where I absolutely love it. I'm addicted to it. I'm a nut. I'm a sales nut. I'm a Jordan Belfort fanatic, dude. You know.
Yeah.
So
Amazing. And I know you mentioned that you do a lot of cold calling, right? Which is something I know a lot of people avoid. So, from your perspective, what do you think cold calling teaches you that no other marketing channel can?
well, I think for somebody starting off, if any advice for anyone that's on the fence of getting into this industry, all right, I see there's a lot of new disclosures coming in. There's a lot of new laws changing, but there'll always be loopholes. There'll always be investors. There'll be always somebody who, if a genuine person wants to sell their home, they'll sell their home. They'll sign a contract. The only reason why they won't do it is if you're not a genuine person. If you be
Hmm.
a genuine person to these people and not worry about getting on a phone call and worried about dollar bills in your eyes, right? If you just sit back, listen more, open your ears, and just listen to exactly what these sellers are going through. And because every seller has a different problem.
Yeah.
What I think an acquisition closer is at the end of the day is a problem fixer. They once you can find the root of the problem and find the real pain points and find out the real solution, why this seller wants to sell their house and why they're on the phone with Niall Donnelly or even Deon James, right? That's just the way it is. But for somebody that wants to get into this game now and master it, don't even think about a CRM. Don't even think
Hmm.
about having systems, automations, processes. you're not there yet. You're not there yet. Get on the phone. Go to Deal Machine. It's $100 a month. Pull a list of 10,000 records and just get the reps in. Just get the reps in. Set up a schedule for yourself. Be disciplined. The 4 things in this industry you need, and I'll die by them, is you have to be disciplined. You have to be consistent. You have to be motivated, and you don't quit. You cannot lose. You cannot beat somebody who won't quit. It's immortal. You just cannot. Yeah. If you keep to them 4 basics and you're willing to learn and train your skill set every day, you will succeed in this business. Now, I see a lot of people's like Lucas Gano, for instance, his first ever deal was 94,000, his first deal in North Carolina. That's it's unheard of. You know, some people are lucky in this game, but other people that are coming into it now, just get on the phones, get the repetitions in, man. Get a script. Whoever you do, you don't have to pay for mentorship. You're not there yet. Don't what some people do is pay $10,000 straight away to get the mentorship. Pull a list. Get the reps in for 3 months. If you're not seeing results in 3 months, then go get a course. There's loads of people out doing it. Now, what I will say to people is, if it's not working out after 3 months, 90 days, make sure you do your homework. Make sure that you're going with a person that is consistently doing deals and that are in this game, in the trenches every day of the week. 7 days of the week that are teaching this stuff to people, reaching people that you know are in their communities. Yeah. And ask these mentors as well, ask them, show me your numbers. Show me exactly what your company has done this month for me to give you money and to coach me. And I think mentorship is a big thing. It's everybody needs mentorship. Right now, I've paid over nearly $20,000 in mentorship right now. You have to. After a while, you have to get to that stage to pay the money. But what I would focus on is give it 90 days, try lock up your first deal. And here's another thing I see wholesalers do as well. Don't do everything and figure out everything on your own. Worry about the acquisition side of things. Lock up a deal or 2 and give it to somebody. Give it to a disposition guy, a real company. There's plenty of them out there. But when you're going this one with somebody, do a few deals with them, but make sure that they are going to learn you after them few deals. They're going to teach you exactly how to do it so you can go out and do it yourself. Don't go with a dispo person who is not going to show you, only wants your money. Don't do that. Go with a person or a company that will show you how to dispo deal from A to Z.
Got it. So I know obviously you mentioned about cold calling, right? So from your point of view, when you're talking to sellers, like, what would you say is the difference between just having a surface level conversation, maybe just about the house, maybe just about a property, and a difference between surface level and I would say a difference between a real one where you actually build that relationship? Like, what questions do you ask at that time which actually changes the tone of the call?
Of course, man, of course. And that's a great question, Deon. It's like for beginners, it's not going to be like that, right? From the start. It's going to be, they're going to be nervous. They're going to fumble and mumble. It happens. You're just getting the reps in. But for somebody right now that's doing deals, of course, it's like, you want to find out exactly, right? Your intro is everything. Your first 6 seconds of a call is either going to kill you or it's going to bring you all the way to getting an offer. You want to make sure that you're confident in your words, that you're not like, what you say is what you have to believe. Right? Because at the end of the day, there's 4 things these sellers you need to get from them. They either like you, they want to trust you, and then they want to do business with you, right? So you have to build a rapport with the seller. You have to figure out exactly is, first of all, building a rapport. Calling them saying, hey, you know, this is my name, this is my company, this is what we do. Okay? Get them to write down your information. If they're driving, don't even do it. Text them over them and send them on a website as well. That's another thing I see wholesalers as well is, if you're doing this as well, make sure you get a website, because either a lot of these sellers, they're very skeptical, very skeptical. They want to make sure that this is not a scam. There's a lot of scams out there. So they want to make sure that you're a real person, you're a real company. But at the end of the day, it's how you present yourself to the seller. It's having that confidence and just having a regular conversation with them. You know what I mean? Script is great. You go by the script for the first couple of deals, but after a while, you don't want to sound like a robot. And this is what I always say to myself, and I train myself as well, is how do I become and sounding different than everybody else out there? Because you know yourself, Deon, at the end of the day, there's so many scripts out there. Like, everybody has the same script, right? And sellers are probably noticing this. They probably are. This is another guy with the same script, the same way. You just got to sound different, my guy. You know, you just got to sound different with these sellers. Have a good conversation with them. Find out exactly why they want to sell with you. You got to find out why Miss Mary or Miss Susie or Robert Michael is on the phone with you and looking to sell their home. And the way you do that is you build good rapport with them. You let them know exactly that, hey, look, I'm here to help you out, and we want what's the best for you. And how do we find and we create the best solution for you to fix the root of your problem? And once you figure that out, it's going to be a lot easier for you when you try to close.
Got it. I think that's like a pretty amazing insight. So I have one quick question. Like, are you a one-man wholesaling team, or do you have like other business partners or other employees under you?
I'm a one-man band. I have my wife looking after a Zepblast SMS. She does all the admin as well. She's a rock star. She was in sales for 6 or 7 years. So she has it, being able to the customer service and talking to these people. She was running Zepblast as well for the other company as well. I got her to do that as well when I was with them. And they loved her. But I have another guy coming in right now. Nice. He's starting Monday. I have a lead manager starting Monday because I have 1,500 leads right now. And it's AI is just blasting these. And it's so hard to keep up with them. So it's like, okay, I need to get a lead manager.
Yeah.
I need a lead manager to work 8 hours a day for me, Monday to Friday, and just literally bang out all these sellers on the dialer and give me leads so I can just get on and close these sellers.
Got it. You know, I have another question which is just followed up on that one. So I know, since obviously you are running the business by yourself, obviously you have your wife to help you out too. But as the volume increases, as you mentioned, you have over 1,500 leads. There would be conversations which would actually start slipping through the cracks. So what I want to know more is the systems or the AIs which you have in your business right now, but which is not actually replacing anybody, but you would say supporting you. So what do you have in place right now?
In place right now, so I'll break it down. Anyone who's watching, with me, dude, I just pull everything from Deal Machine. So this is the first month I got cold callers running, and I gave them 100,000 records, and they're calling off a 20-line dialer, just focused on Tennessee market only. And we've 63 leads, like I said, came in, and we've 3 contracts locked up right now. They're all out for dispo already. We have offers on 2 of them right now. But what I do is I have cold calling and I have SMS. And now I've started to do PPL with Nelson, with Newley, an absolute gentleman. Love him. Very, very nice guy. But like I said, with closer control, I've had different CRMs. I had Podio, and that's just for a beginner, man. I use Google spreadsheets. You don't want to be doing that. Like, the last thing you want to be doing is writing down stuff on a pen and paper and looking for the pages and stuff like that. You want to find a CRM that literally implements everything for you. And I feel like Closer Control, Connor, Alec, the other brothers as well, I think they're on an absolute home run with this CRM, to be honest with you. They have it down to a T. Their AI is unbelievable. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very good. Right? It's like any system, right? Sometimes there's hiccups maybe, but then when you contact the support team, they fix them like that, right? Everything is, we're all human. It's same as AI. AI, you have to treat it like a baby, right? I love AI. I have ChatGPT. I've Grok AI. I've messed around with Perplexity. I don't use scripts anymore. I have bullet points. So I have a script, it's bullet points, exactly what I want to go by, off with the seller. And then I follow Jordan Belfort's sales process, the straight line method. So where you have to looping is only an objection, and then you get back on the straight line, you close again. So that's what I like to do. But with Closer Control, I have to say one thing for him. If you have dead leads, like I had so many dead leads, this is not even funny. Since I started with Closer Control 3 weeks ago, I've got up 3 contracts with them. I locked up 2 commercial lots yesterday, 2 acres each for $1,500 a piece.
Let's go.
Crazy, crazy. And I would have never gotten them deals only for the 10 days in heaven, which they literally just blasted these sellers, revitalized them all. And now I've actually locking up another one now again Monday. They just want to review the contract because they're going through a divorce. And we get that done Monday, and that will be 8 on the board for the month. So yeah, man, like closer control, I gotta give them props to them. Their system is very, very good. Even with now the newly leads from the PPL over it to them. Because I hear this a lot with people, and one thing I've learned with other people that I've worked with in other companies is people are all about PPC. Now they love PPC because the seller's in distress and they're typing in. They want to put their hand up and say, I want to sell my home quick. I get it. It's speed to lead, same as PPL. As well, SMS. If you're not using SMS, guys, in your wholesale real estate business, you're losing out on deals. I can tell you that, because them that I locked up came from SMS. They were revitalized with closer control and in 10 days of heaven, and now we have them locked up. But one thing I will give closer control is their system is very, very good. It's very, very easy to use. It's very investor friendly, user friendly, but it's changed for me big time. It really has, man. And this is a very good saying as well. Is there's a saying out there is learn how to fail quick and succeed quicker, because the stage in your life and this journey that you're on for a new beginner, for a wholesaler, where they just get so sick of losing and not making money and watching people win, that it will click eventually for you. I just say keep going and don't quit. Do not quit. You are one deal away from changing the overlook of your life and your business and whatever you want to do in life. I think wholesale real estate is the cheapest way of getting in to be an entrepreneur and making money. And it's not a forever game, right?
Yeah.
It's an exit strategy. So at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. I want to make money in this industry, but I want to do something else in the long run. So that's where I want to be right now.
Got it. You know, I think what you just said right now, it sounds extremely similar to something which Conor said, Conor McGregor. Like, I don't want to be in the fight game for too long. I just want to come in, make money, get out.
Of course. But that's the thing. If somebody, and I'll say this to somebody as well, and I laugh at this, if somebody thinks they're going to come in here and they're going to click straight away and they think they're going to make 50 to 100K in their first month, you're dreaming. I'm being honest with you. You're dreaming. Like, if you think you can just come in here and work the phones for 2 or 3 hours a day, you're in the wrong game. You're in the wrong game. This stuff is going to test you mentally, spiritually, and it's a grind, man. It's a grind. It's going to test you every way possible, every way that you think of.
Yeah.
What I would say as well is get closer to God as well. Really do, because you're going to go through trials and tribulations where it's really going to mentally test you. You're going to, there's days, man, that I stood at a computer, wanted to put my head through a wall and cried out. And like, I did for a long time. It really tested me, like mentally, it really, really did test me. I was like, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then you got to click back in. You're like, it has to work. There's no option that there's no other option. It's going to work, but you have to make it work. And you have to have a positive mindset as well. You can't be negative in this at all. Sometimes I'm negative, don't get me wrong, but you have to be positive. You have to believe what you're doing is that you want to do it. You just don't come in here and say, hey, I'm going to make a few dials and make a few dollars and hope it works. You're going to have sellers back out in you. You're going to have realtors tell you to F off. You're going to have sellers tell you to F off. There's going to be people telling you to go get a life. And the best way to do that is to get this. Once you can manage this and get this in and control what's going on between your 2 ears, you'll master it. But you got to train every day. You got to go over your call recordings. It's vital. You got to go over your script. You got to learn word tracks. Not just word tracks, but learn off your script. Don't go off it hate them. Start on the 6th page, come back to the 1st page. Don't sound like a robot, but what I would say, getting into from the very beginning, just take action. Get on the phone, get the reps in, get hung up on, get cursed out. It's all a learning process. And trust me, 6 months' time, you'll be like, you know what? This was worth it. It really was.
So I think you have shared a lot of, I could say, like deep insight on what exactly it takes to be in this wholesaling game. And I think a lot of our viewers are really going to appreciate this. So I just have like a small, quick question. So I know our time is almost up, but you mentioned you doing deals nationwide, right? But obviously you focus on places like Tennessee and Ohio. So for you, Don, what exactly do you look for, especially when you're choosing a market?
Choosing the market, dude. Very good. I want to make sure that right at the end of the day too is creative finance is another big thing as well. For anybody, like creative finance is huge. Sub to structuring deals. With creative finance, it kind of I'm doing a mentorship right now. I have a good friend, Evie Brighton. He was coached by Sub 2 Drew down in Florida, very good in the Sub 2 market. And why I'm learning getting mentored by Ken is because the way Ken structures deals and he's different exit strategies. The more exit strategies that you have on a deal, the better it is that you're going to get money and you're going to make money. Okay. If you have only, let's say, cash and ovation in your tool belt, right, it's going to work for a while, right? If you have 4 or 5 strategies that you can help these sellers do and take down, like you could take over someone's mortgage, Deon. Like you could say, right, there's a property there in Tennessee. It's landlord friendly. You can do lease options down there. You can get in at a low entry, pay them down a 10K down, and then you pay them over payments of a duration. Now you have a property that cash flows $400 more for you, right, a month. So now you're walking into where like, okay, now I will have properties. I'm waking up out of bed in the morning. Now you have properties now that are cash flowing even before you start work. So I feel like, man, wholesale real estate, like I think it sets you up for starting as a beginner, but it sets you up for being victorious down the line, to be honest with you.
Nice. Well, Neil, I know we are almost towards the end, and I think you shared a lot of insights. At the same time, a lot of, you can say I would not say struggles, but a lot of grit and determination of what it takes to actually succeed in this space. So since we're almost towards the end, I have something which we call a fireside chat. So it's just quick answers. Like I might give you maybe 2 options. You can just choose which option you think resonates best. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me know when you're ready. So first one, cold calling. Would you say it's a skill problem or a mindset problem?
Cold calling, I think it's, I'll be honest with you, I think it's a skill set as well. It's the hardest. It's probably one of the hardest sellers to close, 100%, because these sellers are not looking to sell. Right, you're ringing them. They don't even know who you are. Like you have a seller in Tennessee and you're calling them from an Arizona number. Why are you calling me? You're looking to sell your house. Boom, they're hanging up the phone. You got to go pick up, ring, call again. I think cold calling, it's very, very tedious work. You have to have the grind ethic to cold call. You really do. And any companies that are out there, or even anybody that's out there, even putting pre-foreclosure lists that are cold calling, I give my hats off to you. I really, really do, because it's tough. I rather have cold callers bring me leads than cold call again. But I'll be honest, Deon, if I had to cold call again to make money, I wouldn't think twice of doing it, to be honest, because I've already experienced it.
Nice. Second question. AI in real estate. Would you say it's an advantage or just an excuse?
No, AI is the future, dude. AI is the future. If people don't have AI in their business, they're losing out. They're losing out big time. Like AI right now, dude, you can actually, Steve Chang's actually right now, if you know what Steve Chang's is, Steve Chang's an AI appointment setter. And I was on the phone last night, my wife and Ben, we were like listening to it. And she was like, is that really AI? I was like, yeah. Like that AI can actually start a conversation and bring it all the way to an appointment set, so one specialist can actually get on a closer and lock that deal up. So I think AI is huge for your business because you can create scripts with AI, systems, automations, and processes. They're huge.
Nice.
You're going to have cold call leads, that even PPC leads, PPL leads, SMS leads. And people think, okay, PPS and PPC and PPL are one call close. I have done them. Of course, I've done them. Don't get me wrong. But a lot of them are not. And if you don't have systems and automations and processes in your business, if you don't have a funnel for following up with these leads, you're wasting your time, because you have to realize, Deon, you are not the only person who has that lead in their CRM or in their bucket. They're getting hit every left, right, and center by everyone all over. They're still not in Arizona or Tennessee. They're getting blown up by some guy in Nebraska, some guy in New York, some guy in Florida, Kentucky. Like, you have to have systems and automations and processes.
Yeah.
So the lead, when you have leads in your CRM, it's warming them up. It's literally hitting them a point of contact. Like I said, revitalization campaign. I have 3 contracts within 10 days of doing 10 days of heaven with closer control. So 100% AI is going to be the next big thing. It's not just going to be real estate. AI is going to take over in the next 10 years, everything. I really do. I think we'll have armies in years to come fighting wars with robots with AI programmed. I really do.
Nice. Next question. Nationwide deals, overhyped, or you can just say under-executed?
All depends. It's a very good question, right? When I was working with No Brainers, with Part and Caden and them, they were doing nationwide. And why they did nationwide is because they had the method in dispo, and I do agree with it. So when they get a property under agreement, if it's either a cash deal or if it's an ovation deal, they're putting it up on market. They're doing either a flat fee listing, or they're going to work with an agent in that particular state that they have, that they can negotiate between a 2 to 3%, where the agent just looks after everything. Where if you have a deal and you have a good agent and you're paying them 3%, well, you got to make sure that if you're paying them 3%, that they are bringing that deal from the very start. You put that in their hand and in their computer, their file, that they are literally looking after everything for you. Yeah. And they should be bringing the buyer and helping you close this and getting the right candidate to buy the home, and help the seller that you're under contract, definitely. But for nationwide, I think you don't want to spread yourself too wide, right? You want to be in markets that you know that you have agents that you work with and you have cash buyers. Now, you don't want to go into markets, Deon, where you have no cash buyers, and you don't want to be in markets where there's only 1,000 people in that specific market. You want to be in markets in metro cities where there's over thousands of cash buyers. There's sellers there that are motivated and looking to sell, right? So you got to target them as well. And with nationwide too, I'll say is the best way to do it is put everything on market, literally. Right? Either it's cash or it's novation, because with putting it on the MLS, you have more of a brand of, like, more of a bigger bucket of sellers, right? You got retail buyers, you got other wholesale buyers. Now you have cash buyers, you have all different kind of buyers, right? You got landlords that are looking to buy, you got investors that are looking to buy, right? You got fix and flip, you got buy and hold cash buyers, right? So that's kind of the way I look at it as well. You got hedge funds as well. So I think if you're nationwide, put it on market. Put it on market. You can actually try to market it for maybe 2 or 3 days. If it's a deal, and I hear Trajan say that as well, is if it's not a deal in 2 or 3 days, then he's going to put it on market, or he's going to, So I think that's the best way for nationwide. But what I would say is, if you're starting off, pick one market, dive into it for 90 days. I see a lot of wholesalers dipping into a market for 14 days, 30 days. It doesn't work. Go into a market, pick a market, work on it for 90 days and see how it's going for you. If it doesn't work, then you can go to another market until you find a market that clicks. You build good rapport with building the cash buyers list and realtor list as well.
Nice. Well, Neil, appreciate you for sharing your story and also being real about your entire journey so far. So obviously, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode towards the end. For anyone who wants to basically connect with Neil or maybe learn more about building, follow Neil at Don the Closer on Instagram. So there you have it, folks. Once again, new stories, new updates, and with new guests. If you want more conversations like this with more stories, let us know who you guys want to bring me on next. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Real Talk. Once
Deon,
again,
I appreciate it, Deon, dude, and to all the Record brothers as well, dude. You're doing a great job. Keep it up, dude. You're only starting, and I can see this blowing up for you guys. You're on the right path. So I love to see.
thank you so much for that, Neil. Well,
No.
appreciate you for joining and hopping on this call and also sharing out a lot of stories about your success and also the things which you had to go through in order to reach over here. Well, guys, that's it for today. See you all next week where we come up with new stories and new guests. Take
Thank
care.
you. God bless.